Hello everybody, it's Nym and welcome back to my channel. So today is Monday and Monday means The Sims 4. Last month we built only spooky homes, we had Spooktober. I really enjoyed it, but last week, making those spooky builds, it got kind of draining and I really wasn't into it anymore. So the last two builds weren't really that good, my apologies again. So today we are back with an old, familiar and normal, small home. Just a normal, nice home. Nothing special, nothing movie related, nothing real to Sims, just straight out of the imagination. So today we are building a small home, and I say small, it has 2 bedrooms, it doesn't really have an upstairs, so it's not really the big homes that I built. It's quite tiny, and this home is actually perfect for grandparents. So what I came up with is a home for 2 grandparents, like a grandfather and a grandmother. They have 1 bedroom and then they have the guest bedroom. And they have a guest bedroom for when the grandchildren come visit or other people come visit them, so they can stay with them. So in the end I'm actually quite happy, and I did something different with this home as well. Usually I first built the exterior, then I put the door in and the windows, and then I go to the garden. So the landscaping, I didn't do that this time. This time I went for the complete interior first and I did the garden last. For the very simple reason, I finally had a vision for the inside. I mean, it probably has to be after like a month of only horror builds and scary homes, very dark. I was up to something bright. And it really worked out, I have to say. I really like the way it looks. I'm really proud of it. Even if it's just the base game windows that I actually never use. I'm really happy that I did, like they are perfect for this home. So this home is also going to be in my save file. We are continuing working on that. It was kind of a pause with Spooktober, but now we are back at it again. And this will be the first new build that will be added. This build is built in Newcrest. In the end it came out on 58,000 simoleons. Which is actually really cheap. I mean, if your Sims just work for it, they could easily get that. I mean, with painting and writing, all that stuff. So they would be very easy to get it. And usually my homes are like up into the 200,000k. And this one isn't, so I'm relatively happy with that as well. It's finally a cheap home. I did good. I mean, like, Spooktober probably learned you something, that building family homes is okay and it's fun. And actually all the cheery bits are kind of amazing. So yeah, I know that I said I wasn't going to do landscaping. We're just placing down 4 trees and then the starting fence. Because I wanted this house to have a front garden and a back garden. We are fencing it off. So it is relatively small, like it doesn't have the entire lot on the back as a backyard. But just this tiny little space in there. And actually I really like the way it looks. And I love the way it's just fenced off. It looks really small and I like it. So now we are doing the kitchen, and I initially wanted the kitchen at the back door and the living room in the front of the home. But there just wasn't enough space, so in the end I just replaced the kitchen, or moved the kitchen. So we moved the kitchen to the front. We are going for an almost all white interior here, because there are... this is gonna sound really weird, but I feel like old people also always have like really neutral colors, so always like either brown or white or black. Not really colorful, so that's why I did it. I have to say I really love... I love the way that this kitchen is like decorated. Usually I always want to put fairy lights on top of the stove. I was like, no, there are old people living here. Old people wouldn't do that. And then when I think of old people, I always think of my grandparents, and I'm like, yeah, they wouldn't have fairy lights there. So this isn't the kind of old eccentric family that lives here. It's just a normal old couple. They're just relatively normal, like they probably had a good job, and now they have this amazing place in Newcrest next to the park, so they can just, go there whenever they want to. I tell you, if The Sims 4 had open world, these Sims would always be in the park, like straight next door. So yeah, this build is in Newcrest. In Newcrest I actually haven't built a lot in there. I think I only built the park and maybe a tiny home. And that's it actually. And I was wondering what I should build in this lot next to the park, because I didn't want to put a restaurant there, because I felt like that was kind of a cliche, so I wanted to put a building there. But I wasn't quite sure what I want to put in there, so in the end we went with this grandparents' home, and I actually think it looks quite nice. So you have like the big park next to it, and if you haven't seen the park yet, I think there's a video on my channel in the speed builds. I'll see if I can find it, and otherwise it will be on the gallery, and it will be in the tour anyways, the end when the save file is done. Do let me know that, by the way. I already have like one world done. Would people be interested in me uploading that one world already? Or not yet? Just let me know, because I absolutely have no clue how people always share their save files. I'm very new to this. I just know that I want to make a save file. I have no clue where people share their save files. I'm guessing they do it on Tumblr or Twitter. Oops, sorry, I dropped something. But I have absolutely no clue if you have to wait until you've done all the worlds or a couple. I'm not sure. Like, the good thing is, if I were to share this save file now, the only thing that would be in there were my builds, because I bulldozed every single lot. So you only get my builds, and I actually really like it. I'm also gonna put in some townies for you guys, and I'm gonna make sure they have like relationships with another, not like they're the Sims 4 developers team, like, ooh, Eliza and Bob Pancakes are arguing. And when you go play with Bob and Eliza, they are actually not arguing. That still grinds my gears. I can't. So right now we are doing this tiny living room, and I was wondering if I should put a side table there or not, but it ended up didn't fitting, so we just didn't place one, and we placed a plant and then a light in between the couch and the chair. And, you know, if you were sitting there with your glass, you're just gonna have to take it to the kitchen or put it on the floor or whatever. You know. Oh yeah, I also thought that could be a picture of like their child. So they have like one son, and then he comes visiting with his family. Ooh, I should build the family of this family, like their family home, so like their son and his wife and the children. I should totally do that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna need to make a mental note of this, because I probably will forget. So let me just grab a piece of paper and write it down, because knowing me, I have a very, very, very bad memory, and I am just going to forget it. You know, like in Harry Potter, when Professor Lockhart just obliterates everyone's memory? I'm like that. I completely forget it. I used to make fun of that, like, how can you forget it? And then I'm just like, yeah, my memory is bad. I already forgot what I was gonna write down. Oh yeah, I'm gonna write a family home for the child of old family. At least I know what I mean, like that's most important. I mean, if I know what it is, then that's the most important thing right now, that I know what it is. Also, since I didn't upload on Halloween, happy late Halloween, I hope you all had a lovely time. I mean, wherever you are in this world, because I know quite a lot of countries are still in lockdown or in lockdown again. So hopefully you're surviving. I know I'm not. I'm very, very lucky that I can just go to work and do my work, and I get to go out every day, because I really can't stand being indoors all day. I can't. Like last year during the first lockdown, I say last year, I talk in school year, so before the summer holiday, I actually broke my foot, so I had to stay inside because I couldn't go anywhere. It was hell. It was honestly terrible. So, but you know, this time I will not break anything. Let's knock on wood, because I really don't want to break anything again, because I love my work and I love being outside. That is one good thing that, like, breaking my foot has taught me. I actually like being active. I never imagined that for myself, because, you know, I'm not really the active type. I mean, I am. I don't look like it, but I am. So I love the outdoors. I love sporting, just, you know, not competitive. I'm going way off topic again. Oh yeah, this is fun. I wanted to do something different in the bedroom, so I placed down those little kitchen cabinets. and pretended they were like cabinets where you put like books in or DVDs. And I actually really like the way that it looks, also with plants on there and the books. I thought it looked really cheerful. And then, you know, filling up those small corners with lamps and plants is always a good idea. Always a good idea. And then we put this Strangerville rug in here, but it totally matches with this bed. I have never seen that, but I absolutely love the way that it matches. Same with the, like the futon, I think it's called. No, it's not. The weird bench thing that I placed, I forgot the name. I really like the way that the pattern, it's kinda, like it reminds you of the pattern in the rug, but it's not completely, but it's still, somehow it works out. At least I think it works out, so I think I'm not the best person to go with style, because I have a very different style than most people, but whatever. So we are almost done with the grandparents' bedroom, and after that we are actually going to move on to the guest bedroom. So yeah, now just replacing those shoes, replacing them somewhere else, just to make it more matching. And here we have the guest bedroom. Now I imagined this that these grandparents had 2 grandchildren, so they have one room with 2 beds and the children share a bed, which is actually quite common. I mean, me and my brother used to share a bedroom with my grandparents as well. And I absolutely love the way that this turns out. So we're gonna keep it pretty neutral because, you know, these kids aren't here all the time. They are just here sometimes. So we're gonna put obviously some light and some plants there, but nothing major, nothing big. So you could just pretend that they're fake plants and that they're just there for show. I also wanted to put some paintings and a clock up there just so the children can see what time it is. And we are going to put a rug down, and we are going to put one down that I almost never use. Like this one, I almost never use it, but I quite like the way that it looks. And I need to remember to use that more. And then we are going to put the dresser down from Seasons, which is actually a very fancy dresser now that I look at it. I think they're tulips like on the little doors. But I absolutely love the way that it looks. It looks so fancy and totally the way that I imagined these grandparents to be. So it works out pretty well. And then just a bookcase and a chair, which is kind of similar to the bedroom that I had when I was with my grandparents. It was just very simple, bookcase, closet, 2 bunk beds, and actually a stairs to the basement as well, so you need to be careful that you didn't fall in there. And that was it. And then we are moving on to the outside, and we did use some debug. I didn't have the mod on, so we just used searching in the debug items, and we are using my favorite bushes. And we're using them to mark off the entire back garden or backyard. I don't actually know. I think one of them is American, the other one's English. I think back garden is English and backyard is American. Yard sounds more American. I have no clue. That's very obvious that I don't know. We are just using these common mailboxes and just a bin. And then we are moving on to decorating actually the front garden first. And you might notice that my screen is a little bit brighter than it used to be. That's because I installed a reshade color. At least I hope that you can see that it's brighter. At least I think it's brighter. I think I did it correctly. And I absolutely love the way that it looks. It makes the colors look more vibrant and more alive and more like you would see it in nature. And it also, personally, I think it looks something that I would rather watch than something that's a little bit dark. So huzzah for reshade. And I don't know who said it to me that they installed a reshade and it changed, well, their lives is a big word, but it changed the way they looked at the game. I think it was someone in a Discord server, but I can't really remember. Anyway, so I decided to install it. It was a bit of a hackle because I didn't really know how to properly do it, but I managed in the end. That's what the important thing is. Oh yeah, by the way, I did use the Star Wars pack here, and I know a lot of people don't have it because they don't like it. I would just get it just before the bench, like the picnic benches you just saw, and the 3 plants up there, totally worth it. But don't listen to me, do what you want, but in my opinion, totally worth it. And now we are just finishing up this back garden. Back garden sounds weird. I feel like it's just a garden. I honestly don't know. I need to research this, man. Whatever. Just placing some plants in those flower pots to make it look more happy and more alive. We are going to use the same bench as we did in the back as well, just, you know, because if you like the bench, you're going to buy 2. You're not going to buy 2 different ones, you're just going to buy two of kinds. And I believe the only thing that we are going to do right now is place some flower pots, you know, to make it look more alive and have the aesthetic a little bit alive. And I believe, guys, we are almost done with this home. So I'm going to take this last few seconds to obviously promote myself. If you haven't already, make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and you can also hit that bell icon so you get notified when my next build goes up. I post 3 times a week, 2 times Sims and 1 time Planet Zoo, and you know, perhaps there will be bonus videos on Sunday if I have the time. That's just a bit of a struggle with work at the moment, but if I have time I will upload bonus videos. So guys, make sure you do that, and I will leave you to the screenshots. Bye guys.